ladies and gentlemen, to week 2 of the Upsurge Minor League Division. However, we have a better name for it here on the desk. It is called the Banana Bowl. We have two fantastic teams coming up today. We have Banana Bread Game. I believe it's Banana Bread Boys versus Banana Gaming tonight, which are two fantastic names. My name is Orbital. I am joined here by Guster Posey. How are you doing today, sir?
Pretty good. You know, we're not ready to go bananas just yet, but we're getting closer and closer. So this game looks like it should be, or this whole series should be pretty exciting because, you know, early season still, we have some kinks to work out for Banana Bread Boys. They unfortunately had a rough week 1, but Banana Gaming on the other side here did pick up the win. So they're looking good coming into week 2 here.
Yeah, it is worth mentioning that currently Banana Gaming will be running with, I believe, a substitute ADC. Their regular ADC was not able to make it, so they are running with a sub that they had on their list. However, that brings up a good point because although Banana Bread Boys actually lost in their first week, I believe they played with quite a few subs in that one. If I remember correctly, they had to forfeit game number 1, and then they took a loss in game number 2 with an E sub. So this time we'll actually get to see them play with their full roster.
Yeah, they just need more time to ripen up, you know how banana bread goes.
Definitely, but I mean, if you leave them out for too long to ripen, then they just go sour overnight.
So, yeah, it's a balancing act.
It's balancing out. All right, we will have to see if they can make that work. And again, the meta has definitely, we saw it last week, it hasn't shifted too much, but we are starting to see some of these pocket picks come out to play. It definitely feels like there is a little bit more wiggle room, as well as, you know, nerfs seemingly not doing too much, as Aphelios and Kali are still mainstream picks recently.
Yeah, and it's just kind of the way those champions function. You know, Aphelios didn't really get nerfed. Like, it was just kind of the infinite range that probably should have been taken out beforehand finally got touched. And as far as Akali, like, as long as she does enough damage to kill someone and has the safety of her shroud, people will still play her. Like, that's just the way it's going to end up being. So, you know, we're looking for some things here. It looks like both these teams really like Senna as a pick, so we'll look to see for priority on the Senna pick. And then, you know, you got to look out for Soraka. Bananas. She literally throws bananas. It's the Banana Bowl. And, you know, we're gonna split on into Champ Select here soon, it seems.
Oh, I absolutely have to agree. Recently, I believe they are talking about the nerf to Soraka. I think it was nerfed. I'm not sure already, but they also have a few more planned in 10.4. However, there is a rise in Sona top as well, so it's very interesting to see a lot of these mages come back to the top lane. And honestly, as a mid lane player myself, seeing mages roam in other areas is always fun, but I mean, what can you say about that? I mean,
in solo queue last night, I had a game where it was Sona versus Soraka top lane. Bananas, magical magic flying all over the place. It was not a fun time. And, you know, in that particular matchup, Sona ends up doing infinite more damage than Soraka does. And, you know, it just is a testament to top lane that those two champions can just kind of go up there and be dominant. So,
yeah, I mean,
I feel bad for top laners nowadays.
I do agree, but we are into Champ Select, and I mean, we blew through the ban phase right there. Senna, Rise, Graves taking off the table for Banana Bread Boys, and Diana, Orianna, and Braum taken away from on the other side. So definitely hammering in that mid lane and ADC role, it seems. A lot of champions kind of focus on both sides, really trying to hit their specific targets. Orin picked up for Banana Bread Boys right off the bat, and then to combat that, the highly prioritized Miss Fortune and Leona, a very strong bot lane duo.
Yeah, all three of these picks coming out so far very strong. LS actually last night on the LCK broadcast between T1 and KT said that Ornn, you should always first pick Ornn blue side no matter what if he's open. He's just so strong. He's the only like full-on tank that's relevant right now. But this Fiora pick being picked up here, I think that's just a pro draft error.
Yeah, it looks like that's actually J4 and Kennen from what they say.
Okay,
so
that makes more
is
sense.
A little mix-up, and so that is unfortunate. So that is going to be a Jarvan and a Fiora, or not Fiora, sorry. Jarvan, and Kennen, so a nice little wombo combo. Now, the question is now, because they locked in Ornn, is that Kennen mid lane or is that an ADC Kennen, which we have seen some situations arise where people actually take Kennen in the bottom lane, which it can either go AP or AD, but it is a very surprising pick nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I remember Kennen's support back when Kalista was OP and you'd rush like Righteous Glory on Kennen and just be a stun bot. Probably not going to be what we're going to see as more bans come out fast and furious still.
These are two teams that are not phased at all, it seems. They know exactly what they want to take out. They know exactly what they don't want to play against or what they do want to play. And I mean, they fly. Aphelios, Morgana taken away in the bottom side, and Olaf and Gangplank, which I do really like those ban outs. You already picked your bottom lane, Miss Fortune, Leona. Take away the next strongest thing. Morgana, obviously a very top tier ban away because you have Leona. And the Soraka locked in top. This is now a double AP composition locked in here. This could be very dangerous.
Yeah, and you got more bananas added into the banana bowl with the Soraka coming in, but Zyra Khan is the answer for the banana bread boys. And that is a very strong 2v2. However, picking it into what a lot of people consider the traditional counter for it with the Leona. And, Miss Fortune is no push over in lane either. So this is one of those bottom lanes where whoever gets that edge can really take over. Unlocking in Sejuani, who did receive a couple little buffs here on 10.3 for some engage and tank as well for the jungle position. You look at the comp of Banana Gaming, there's just so much lockdown and so many different ways to prevent Banana Bread Boys from doing much of anything. You get in there with the Solar Flare into the Miasma, into the Soraka Silence Field. And that's not even talking about Sejuani, who brings just tons of CC on her own. So there's a lot to look at for the comp of Banana Gaming as just a standard kind of team fight, front to back, catch people out. But on the side of Banana Bread as well, you got Jarvan Kennen. That is a strong 2v2, especially if that ends up being Kennen mid. Could be Ornn mid as well. But you have the Call of the Forge God to engage. You have Jarvan to engage. You have Kennen and Rakan to follow up on that as well. So both of these team comps are very explosive.
I can agree with that. I do have a very slight worry, though, is with how much healing is there and how much abilities are able to be slung around on Banana Gaming side. The healing from Soraka, Cassiopeia has innate healing, the Leona frontline, and the Sejuani. Depending on where the Kennen goes, I feel if he doesn't build AP, Banana Bread Boys, will not have enough damage to actually cut through the healing and the sustain of Banana Gaming side.
Yeah, definitely something to look out for, especially if that Jarvan ends up building the tank-style Jarvan instead of like a bruiser Jarvan. It's something that you see a lot of the time is the Jarvan would get ahead and build tank and then not contribute any more damage, just be a big front line. And if the carries aren't able to put out the damage, your team ends up losing. So I feel like your concerns are very valid there due to the sustain coming out. But, when you have enough engage, you can try to wombo them before any of that healing comes on in.
Yeah, I do agree. We'll have to see what happens, though. We do see a fantastic quick phase here. It does look like that is going to be the Kennen going in the mid lane and the Cassiopeia. So I'm interested if Kennen is going to stick with that teleport. Again, shout out to our amazing production crew manager right now, Hypertension, who is doing an awesome job on the stream. So if you ever want to check him out, that is there.
He thinks that Soraka is banned 10 times. So no, there's so much banana. We need more bananas.
Oh, I do agree, and it is a terrifying thought. But again, we do see that in the top side. Now, I do want to ask you, because we got a little bit into it about, hey, the compositions and the styles. Looking at this bottom lane, because of how quickly Banana Gaming were able to pick it up, the Miss Fortune Leona, and you also mentioned it, the lockdown and everything. Do you think Banana Bread Boys were able to counter very nicely, or do you think it's still going to be at a little bit disadvantage?
I mean, they kind of picked themselves into a little bit of a counter matchup, but it's not a hard counter. There's really no super hard counters in League of Legends. We're not Dota quite yet. But, it is a little rough for Rakan to do what he needs to do when there's a Leona involved. But, the 2v2 of Zyra Khan is so powerful that they can win any lane they go into if they play it correctly. But Misfortune Leona is one of the ones where it's really hard, just due to the fact that they're both insane lane bullies. Misfortune poking you down, killing minions, and then hitting you with a crit after killing that minion. No fun. Leona does enough damage to almost solo down either Zaya or Rakan early on in the game as well. So, it's going to be rough for our Mormonks down there in the bottom lane, but they can pull it off if they find a nice little wedge to get on in there, make things happen, and don't slip on any banana peels on the way out.
Absolutely. We'll have to see if they, push forward through the jungle or if they slip up at the entrance. So we will be getting into the game shortly, but before we throw it over to an intermission, I do want to talk about one of our fantastic sponsors, Kono. If you are looking to take your game to the next level, it all starts with your peripherals. From keyboards to keycaps, mice, and more, our friends at Kono have got you covered. Kono works with the world's best designers, inventors, and makers to bring you some of the best gaming peripherals around. Kono have been huge supporters of us here at Upsurge and have made generous contributions to our prize pools. If you need to find a new keyboard and more for your setup, we can't recommend anyone better than Kono. For more information, head over to kono.store to check out all they have to offer. Once again, we will be going to a short intermission before we get into the first game of the Banana Bowl between Banana Bread Boys and Banana Gaming. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick update on the circumstances. We do have a small technical issue on the side of Banana Bread Boys. We will have that fixed here shortly. We will be remaking the lobby and getting right back into it, so please stay with us, and thank you so much for your patience. We'll be right back with the first game. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for waiting as we do get on the riff for the first game of the night between Banana Bread Boys on the blue side and Banana Gaming on the red side. On the blue side, we do have Drezus on the top lane on the Ornn. Central now having Smite on the jungle role. TL Cityscape in that mid lane on the cannon. And Ariat and War Monks on that bottom lane on the Zyrakan duo.
Yep, and on the red side for Banana Game, we've got Noobs playing Soraka, the ultimate banana for the Banana Bowl up in the top lane. I think I'm okay on the Sejuani. I think he'll be just fine. Gangplank bot in the mid lane, not playing Gangplank, so shame on you, good sir. Big Daddy Will and Isles down in the bottom lane playing Misfortune and Leona, which, funny enough, are one of my best friends' two actually favorite champions, so it's always kind of fun for me to see them laning together.
Yeah, they are, and we are getting into game already. A 5-point setup here, which is pretty standard. This is pretty common with a lot of teams as they kind of set up, test the waters for the first game. And I do like this personally. However, I also like to see a lot of action in the second game. I love invades. It's probably one of my favorite things. It's a lot of, it's the gamble of the game.
Yeah, I play on a team, and our sister team literally invades every game, no matter what. Even if there's a fire. And they just, whether it works out or not, they invade, they do it. They do different ways. They know all the different invade paths and timings, late invades, early invades, super late invades. It's crazy. Some teams are super risk averse to it, though, and there's no shame in that. Some teams like to just chill and play the game and not put out a bunch of risks early on.
That is true. We are looking at a pretty solid start, but again, something to keep in mind, Central on that J4 is a little bit better at clearing out those early camps. I think he got about a 15-second head start on clearing out his red, or his blue buff, sorry, he's already started on his third camp. So already, I think is already behind a little bit. Level 2 immediate go in here. Good damage, but no, a good return back and a nice double stun. Big Daddy Will has the flash and is now going to run. One more auto attack. He walked back in, but he survives. The heal barely made it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you always chug the potion at the start of the fight.
Definitely. Without the potion going, for sure would have died. If not to that last tick of a night, would have died earlier on. And that just shows you the power that Zyrakan, that they can turn around something like that. Because normally, when Leona goes in level 2 like that, your ADC's probably going to have to blow their summoners if they survive at all. But Zyrakan actually able to turn it around onto Big Daddy Will, forcing him out and about killing him.
Yeah, here we go. Gank in the mid lane, though, but a counter gank, but I think I'm okay. Good flash away, but Cityscape is going to get stunned up. That is going to be first blood for Gangplank bot. And a beautiful counter engage from, I think, Sakir's first blood.
Yeah, that was fantastic there. Normally you think of Jarvan being the one to make the things happen in the early game. You kind of think of Sejuani as can kind of do stuff early game, but really waiting for that level 6 to start engaging fights and take creative paths around, but able to come in and secure first blood for the Cassiopeia, which is a fantastic champion to get rolling early on.
Yes, it is. And in the top lane, we do see Noobs trying to push out Drezus, but a big issue is, Noobs, as a Soraka, is supposed to be up in CS, able to poke out Drezus, but I mean, Drezus currently feeling pretty happy about farming in the tower and not really having any issues.
Yeah, and I think Ornn is one of these lanes that isn't super hardcore oppressed by the Soraka. You're able to buy more health at whim as long as you have the gold for it. You don't have to take the recall for it. But Central looking for a gank.
Yeah, I mean, they have no flash, no heal, and that's going to be an immediate turnaround. That's going to be a teleport from Cassiopeia coming all the way in. Gangplank bot joining the bot lane. That might be a turnaround. No, flash away. One more Twin Fang. Misses the poison spray as well. And a nice flag and drag to get everyone out to safety.
Oh, the flash.
A flash from Gangplank bot. I'm not sure if that was going to connect. Didn't get the miasma down. So that's going to be a wasted flash on the bot lane and a nice return kill on that bottom side.
Yeah, I think Central might have been able to actually pick up a kill onto Ailes down there a little bit. He had the Conqueror going, had some extra AD and that healing going on for him, but just decided to get out with his team after they picked up that free kill onto Big Daddy Will. And now Gangplank bot has no summoner spells as Sedge coming back in mid.
Yeah, might as well. The flash is down, and this is something that I feel you don't see very often in just regular solo queue. junglers returning to the scene of the crime. Once you blow a couple summoners, honestly, put pressure on the spots that you already have pressure, right? Don't try and help every lane. And this is exactly what I think is doing. He's going to the mid lane, going to the bottom lane, you know, or revisiting, sorry, mid lane, and knowing that if Cityscape pushes anywhere past, I believe, that midway point, he's in dire straits of possibly dying.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, either jungler probably shouldn't be looking for top lane for any sort of action whatsoever. Soraka Ornn, not really a lane that you can really hope to accomplish a whole lot of, at least pre-6 especially, and even post-6. Like, having Call the Forge God is great, but having the Wish for the Soraka is also fantastic to deter any sort of fighting that's going on. So, you know, top lane probably not going to be where we see the action, so look for this bottom half of the map to be big even after the first Drake gets taken. And with that, Infernal gone, you know, they get all that bonus AD and AP for themselves, and now we have a Cloud. So we're looking at either an Ocean Rift or a Mountain Rift. And, you know, if you're the side of Banana Gaming right now, you're kind of hoping for an Ocean Rift just to stack up more and more healing.
Oh, absolutely. We do see it is going to be a Cloud Drake, so going to have some fun there and decide who gets what. We do see the bottom lane once again being picked on by Central, but it looks like he might have walked over some wards, and you can actually see a very nice trifecta of warding on that bottom side. Multiple wards did spot Central, so you see Ailes and Daddy sitting there, making sure that they play a little bit further back.
Yeah, and this is the Leona into Xayah Rakan. Leona is great for when Rakan just kind of goes in all reckless abandon, because you can actually stun him up with Shield Daybreak to deny him from actually hitting. But when you just walk into it...
when you walk into it, you got to burn that flash. So Ailes making his way back out. Did lose the pink ward, though, and his slash, so a very costly mistake right there.
Yeah, 5-minute cooldown and 75 gold. And at this point in the game, you know, especially as a support, 75 gold is a lot right now. Does have another Vision Ward in his inventory, but, you know, just got to be a little more careful with where you place him.
Really do. Central, though, has really put his presence down on the map. He's down a little bit of CS, down in levels, but he has exerted so much pressure on this bottom lane, kept Ariat and War Monks safe. So that means that they get to farm pretty heavily and make sure that, you know, as we stated before, this Xayah gets up to the point that she can start shredding through the enemy team.
Yeah, definitely. Still one of the best scaling ADs. You know, generally only picked with the Rakan nowadays, but, you know, even after the nerfs to her ult cooldown and the attack speed on her W, still very strong in her own right. But we do have a bit of a disconnect here. Central does not have access to the Cataclysm just yet, whereas I think I'm okay has the Glacial Prison if they decide to do something, but looks like they're just going to give over this Rift Herald with no contest, perhaps?
Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone else was available to do that, and we actually see the lane swap coming out. So, a very quick called lane swap actually initiated by Banana Bread Boys. Not only to get that Rift Herald, but to try and give them a little bit better advantage. And I actually really do like this, as I believe we will have to see Soraka actually put further behind because she doesn't have teleport, and Drazus actually had it, and now we get a little jump on that jungle side. Nice ultimate, keeps her safe, but a nice 3-man knockup in return. But look at that Wish, the damage, the healing is all over the place, and that's going to be a quick turnaround as Central unfortunately dove too far.
I think he forgot that Soraka was in the game.
I would
he
have to
hadn't
agree
really
on
been
that.
top lane yet, you know, so it's just kind of like, he jumped in, he's like, yeah, 3-man Cataclysm, 3-man Rakan knockup, let's go. And then the Wish comes out, and he's like, oh, right.
And it wasn't just that. Something that I want to point out is Big. He actually uses heal after the Wish, meaning that there was not a reduction in healing power that came out. The full effect of the Wish came in, and so Big got another channel to heal off, meaning, I don't know if you watched, Sejuani's health went from 10% all the way back up to about 80.
Yep, gotta love Soraka.
Yep.
And you know, that's the thing with Soraka. She's just really good top lane now, but you can still just play her as a support. I've even seen some people play her mid as well. So, you know, maybe hitting her just the minion damage that Riot's planning to do might not be enough to get her completely out of games. Probably will take her out of the solo lane spot or force her to play like the Sona does in solo queue with the support item and just trying to poke instead of trying to actually CS. But when you play against a Soraka, you have to be mindful of the Wish cooldown and where she is during a fight. So if you can pick her off, then you win so much harder, especially when she's your top laner, because then you don't have a traditional top laner. You don't have an Ornn or an Aatrox or anything that's contributing damage. Once Soraka's gone, they're down that little bit of damage she provides, but mainly that healing.
It's like having an extra heal battery pack on your back every time you walk in. So we'll have to see if that works. Second dragon coming up here. It has spawned. That is a cloud dragon, so I'm excited to see what occurs here. We do see Drezus moving around, and Kennen, the Cityscape, has a teleport up and ready. But look at the ward coverage. There are no wards for Cityscape to actually teleport. There is a pink ward now, but that's directly in the middle. See a teleport on the back side. That is a 5-man on the bottom side, and Cityscape has yet to actually teleport. They ping it out. They know this is a 5-on-4 right now. A nice special position actually lands, and they just multi-stun him up. Here comes the bullet time landing on everyone. Teleport in now, and the follow-up is there. But look at the damage in the back line. Gangplank bot says bye-bye to your bot lane, and that's gonna be the kills. Kennen, Cityscape tries to lay down the damage, but it is not there. And Gangplank collects 3 in that fight as an early team ace comes out for Banana Gaming.
Yeah, Arya didn't even have a chance to try to put out any damage that fight. Completely got soloed up by Gangplank bot on the Cassio. Just got destroyed. The Feather Storm came out, but the poison from Cassio was already applied and died during the Feather Storm. And Cityscape came in and landed a good slicing Maelstrom. However, with just pieces of Gunblade, not going to do a whole lot of meaningful damage, especially since the Wish was still available. The Wish came out, kept everyone alive for a clean ace and 2 Drakes. But the only bad thing for Banana Gaming is that we have a Mountain Rift instead of an Ocean Rift. So this buys Banana Bread Boys a way to kind of try to survive. If they can pick up some of these Drakes, they have the tank Jarvan, they have the tank Ornn. They can get these extra resistances to try and out-sustain the damage and healing best they can. So, game's not looking super great for Banana Bread Boys right now, but they have options still. Not a whole lot, not super fruitful, but they're still there.
Yeah, they have a few more bunches of bananas up their sleeve, but you do also have to think about the fact that we still don't see any grievous wound items for the side of Banana Bread Boys. We're looking down the line. J4 doesn't have the Thornmails just yet. Kennen is still, again, as an AP Kennen, the only item he can really grab is that Morellonomicon, which is, I think, about 3k that he has to sink into that. And on Ariat's side, we're also still looking for the fact that, no grievous wounds for that ADC either. Soraka and Cassiopeia will be sustaining very, very well, I believe.
Oh yeah, for sure. The Conquer on the Cassio means that once that's stacked up, going to be healing. Also, the Twin Fangs has the built-in heal as well. So Soraka adding on top of that, you're definitely going to need grievous wounds. It's just they don't have the gold to invest in that just yet. You see, Ariat still doesn't have a BF sword for Essence Reaver yet, just sitting on the Call Fields and the Crit Cloak versus Big Daddy Will, who has the Essence Reaver completed. So, with time, they can probably get some grievous wounds. It's just right now, it's just going to have to wait. They're probably going to try to stall the game out a little bit until they get to that point.
And that's not to say that their composition can't thrive in the late game. Any team that gets Ornn will always thrive in the late game with, I believe, those are a total of 6 item upgrades that he can output. He will be very happy moving into that late game, but I do, like you said as well, wonder if they will be able to stall it out. With that massive loss at the Dragon, I mean, do you think they'll be able to stall it out, or do you think the power coming out of Banana Gaming will be able to just run them over in the next 10 minutes?
They could potentially stall, but there's just so much forcing capability on the side of Banana Gaming with Sedge and Leona to go in and follow up from Misfortune and Cassiopeia from relatively long range that it's going to be pretty hard. And it looks like Banana Gaming not trying to just handshake it as they're going in, throwing everything at Cityscape.
Yeah, I mean, they can. That's a massive lock up, and Cityscape just isn't able to do anything. Does catch Ailes with that stun, but still goes down. Didn't have teleport, so a very nice, or didn't have flash, sorry. And a very nice play made by Banana Gaming.
Yep, Rift Herald will come down, take out that top turret as well, which is actually the first turret of the game, so that little bit of bonus gold still in the game going on over to them. Will not escort it any farther, however, so won't get the charge off on the next tower, but you know, that's the kind of play you want to see from a team with an early lead, is to force things like that. They know everyone's there, Kennan's by himself, you can stun him up and take him down. And, you know, they did that right after Rift Herald, and I kind of feel like Cityscape should have known that they could potentially come up there and do that after they took the Rift Herald kind of right next to him. So, you know, it's just things that Banana Bread Boys have to be mindful of, is the pick potential, and when an objective is taken and you're around that objective, you need to back on up because they got a lot of things to catch you up with.
Absolutely. About 16 minutes in, 16 and a half minutes, and we're already seeing some bounties appear on some people. We do see the 4-0 Cassiopeia sitting with a 550 gold bounty. Miss Fortune sitting with 300 to her name. And with this next dragon coming up, some of them might be claimed.
Yeah, and if you're Banana Gaming, you just want to get the soul going. You like the Mountain Drake because you do have a Sejuani on your side, so helps out a little bit in the Leona too. But really, getting the Elder would just be fantastic for them, just due to the fact that, you know, Miss Fortune and Cassio sometimes have a little bit of trouble finishing people off here and there. But with the Elder Drake, you don't have to worry about that. And if they get this dragon, they're really close to that.
Once again, we see the little split on the side. We did see Cityscape thinking about moving around that bottom side, but Gangplank is already there, waiting and ready. Dragging down to about 3k, and surprisingly, Banana Gaming are a little bit worried about this. We see them start to funnel in. J4 is still on the side. Here comes the call of the Forge God. They are coming in. Nice petrifying gaze onto the J4 that catches one, but the rest of the team is there. Look at the damage going down. They get the dragon. Dragon has been killed by Banana Bread Boys, but look at the bullet time as well. The rest of the team is going to get wiped. That is 3-0, but they do claim the dragon.
Yeah, and things look pretty all right for Banana Bread Gaming when they start off the fight. You know, even though Jarvan got stunned up by the petrifying gaze, I think it was just him who got caught by that. So, you know, you're thinking, okay, he can survive for a little bit. Cataclysm comes down, Slicing Maelstrom comes down, and it looks good. But then all the healing comes out, and it looks like you did no actual damage at all. And it feels really bad for Banana Bread Gaming at this point.
Yeah, we're starting to see the first items be completed right now. We do see a Spirit Visage in Central's back pocket. Hextech Gunplate has been completed for Cityscape, as well as the Essence Reavers. So, first items have been made. I am worried about the fact that we still haven't seen any items being made towards that Grievous Wounds area. Again, at level 11, Noob's level 2 Ultimate has the Athene's Unholy Grail, already working towards, I believe, the Ardent Sensor next. The heals coming out of the Soraka are going to be massive if Banana Bread Boys do not attempt to itemize against it.
Yeah, I think Soraka's actually building Redemption here, which
yes,
fits perfectly against what Banana Bread Boys are trying to do. They're trying to AoE down an area. Well, Soraka presses R and throws down Redemption in that area where all that AoE is, and at this point, even with Grievous Wounds, you know, it still may be impossible for Banana Bread Boys to win a fight.
Yeah, they're so far down. I mean, looking at the goal differential, we're sitting at a 5.2k difference in favor of Banana Gaming. You know, not having one of their starting members doesn't seem to have phased them at all. Pushing forward, looking towards this Baron as it spawns in about 35 seconds. Already getting the vision down, take the Scuttle as well. Meanwhile, Gangplank on this bottom side already up about 41 CS. He is feeling amazing on this Cassiopeia.
Yeah, and already has the Leandri's Torment completed, so putting out major damage, and the Seraph's fully stacked up as well. We see Big Daddy Will has a BF Sword extra, but Arya does have an Executioner's Calling, but Warmonks...
Oh my lord.
Good thing he's Rakan, otherwise he would have been dead.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a solar flare plus bullet time plus a glacial prison. I mean, he just barely got out. I think if Gangplank had gotten the miasma down, that would have been a kill.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
Except
you know, it
unfortunately, he's all the way on the other side of the map, so
yeah,
we don't
it's
talk
just
about
part of
that.
the game for Banana Bread Boys now. Is they have to find a way to check Baron. You know, they have to find a way to get to the dragon pit because they're on the blue side, so they have to go around the pit to get to it. Whereas Banana Gaming can just come right on down and have access to the pit from their jungle. And it gets really scary for the Banana Bread Boys to go and do much of anything, just due to the fact of all the catch potential and that they have to walk into them, into Banana Gaming, in order to set up for any objectives or to even clear vision right now. Like, this is really good from them to be able to do this, but it's still, I'm sure, just nerve wracking for them at this point.
I have to agree as well. And I mean, we do see only one Scryers coming out from the side of Banana Bread Boys on Arya, but I and this is a personal grievance of mine. We see the warding totem still on Kennen in the mid lane. We still see the warding totem on Drezus in the top lane. Personally, at this point, if you're down this much, down 3 towers, down 10 kills, and you already have 2 dragons against you, I feel it's always better to get those Scryer plants, or get the Scryer's orb and just toss it out, right? Even a second of vision where you don't have to put yourself in harm's way, I feel is much more efficient than trying to get close and dropping that warding totem.
Yeah, and especially because you see both I think I'm okay and Ailes have the sweepers. You know, you can kind of sort of nullify them, you know, in a sense. Just if you're throwing down your normal trinkets in normal spots that get swept and taken out, then your vision is denied. But if you have that blue trinket, you can get on-demand vision where you need it. So that way you don't have to walk up and be in warding range and end up face checking into things like Warmonks almost did and almost died for it.
It is a scary thought, as the banana bread might be deflating just a little bit and not be as fluffy as they would like and as controlled of a game as they like. Dragon is coming up 5 seconds on that Mountain Drake. That might be the third for the side of Banana Gaming, as well as the second Mountain Drake for Banana Bread Boys. If they can get it, that would up their armor and magic resist to 12% if they get it, and 6% for the side of Banana Gaming. It has been started up, and we see the teleport coming in once again, and this is their MO. They're positioning Gangplank on that bottom side to deter any flanking from Cityscape.
Yeah, very good to deny Ken, and even though you can heal through it, you still would rather just prevent it instead of having to react to it. And pretty textbook dragon take there.
Yeah, they do get it. However, they do scatter to the bottom side, which gives an inside track over to Banana Bread Boys. So it looks like they're going to trade a dragon for tower. So I guess they're okay giving this away. This is the first tower for this side of Banana Bread Boys. Finally starting to knock down on some structures.
Yeah, definitely. And any gold they can get wherever they can without actually fighting is what Banana Bread Boys want to do. They need to just try to get some more towers because that's just freestanding gold that makes up not a good chunk of the gold difference, but it makes up for some of it. But Central,
Ooh.
okay.
Now, this is actually really interesting because the retaliation play was actually for Banana Gaming to just rush through that mid lane. Here we go. Nice fight breakout.
Oh, man.
But he got stopped. He got Petrifying Gaze, and so he lost the Call of the Forge God. A beautiful ultimate for Ultimate from the mid lane and top lane. And that secures tower and no kills.
And not only that, Noobs threw down the silence field too, so there ain't no way Orin is going to smack that there. You know, you can use your W to ignore CC, but, you know, if you are using your W, you can't use your R again. So they have a lot of tools to prevent Orin from actually smacking back the Ram into their team. And even after they pushed down and got this tower, Banana Gaming's still on the warpath, and they're trying to duo Baron with their Cassiopeia.
Yeah, we're taking a look, and it is up there. It is very possible, but already they called it out. 3 members are roaming up, and now I think is caught out. He's below half health. He has all of the magic shred on him right now, and they're just diving on Gangplank. He is able to flash away, uses the Petrifying Gaze once more. He is going to survive, but he has to run away now.
Baron's at half health
on the bottom
still,
side,
though.
but they're going to have to try and contest this Baron. Plant has been popped, but there they go again. Good flash forward. Central on this fight. They're going to jump forward, and Cash once again doesn't have
Wow,
the
that
ultimate. That is
healing.
going to be a kill. That is unfortunate, as the rest of the team is there. Banana Gaming is starting to make the way up on the bottom side, but look at Cityscape on the back line. Ultimate lands, and this is a split fight. Look at the Slicing Maelstrom in the back line. They finally found the fight that they need, and that's going to be the kills coming through. 2 kills for Soraka, but that doesn't matter very much, as the health bars are being shredded. Look at Arya throwing out the feathers as quickly as possible. He has gotten 2 to his name in this fight, and this might be what Banana Bread Boys have been looking for. Feathers Storm once again catches everything, and Arya says like, no, gets flashed on. This might be the kill in return. No, flashes over the wall as well. He survives. He's running, and Ailes is now on the run. The support is dead, and that is going to be a 5 for 2 off of a Baron attempt by the Banana Gaming.
Yeah, it started off a little awkward. I think Central tried to do the EQ flash thing where you can hit the knock up with the flash. Didn't quite get that. Still picked up the kill onto Gangplank bot, but then Aryat popping off got as much peel as he needed from his team there to be able to pop off. Still had to flash away from that last Eclipse from Ailes. Probably would have died to that. That thing does like 260 damage at this point in the game, so likely would have died to that. But, you know, he had that Executioner's Call even before this last Dragon fight, so those Grievous Wounds coming in big time handy there, and, you know, he's kind of turned on his Xayah now. Online, he's 4-1 all of a sudden. He's got some gold going. He's actually ahead of Big Daddy Will in gold at this point. And, you know, is up in Infinity Edge now. Big Daddy Will bought a QSS, so that way he doesn't get absolutely destroyed by Cityscape. And all of a sudden, it looks like Banana Bread Boys are kind of finding their way back into this game.
Yeah, and that Baron attempt was, in my opinion, a little bit awkward. Wasn't really necessary, didn't have to do it right, but they went for it anyway, and then when they got caught out, I mean, they didn't have any vision to really set down, and so they got caught out, and it was a very swift fight, and for the first time, Cityscape found that amazing side lane engage. We actually saw it, you know, he caught 3, was able to blow up, I believe it was big, and just take him out of the fight, and so if they can continue finding those fights, I think that'll be really good, but we'll have to see if they can pull it off again.
Yeah, definitely. And interestingly, Cityscape is not opting into the full Morello just yet. Bought a needlessly large rod. Potentially just looking for some just raw AP to try to do some damage, saying Aryat's going to stay alive. He can apply the Grievous Wounds. I just need to do as much damage as possible. And, you know, you look at Ornn and Jarvan. They're getting tankier and tankier. And if they can secure, you know, end up securing 4 Mountain Drakes, they will be way tankier than they already are. But we'll see if they're able to, because they're not in position. They might just trade Soul for Baron.
Yeah, and I don't know about this call, because obviously, yes, if you can test at any point, it's going to be dangerous. So, I mean, I think this is the best call. It wasn't a great one, but it was the best call that they could have made without getting killed. Drezus is now getting run down. But here we go. Oh, nice hit on the Glacial Prison, and Gangplank is just going to run that one down. Picks up the kill onto Drezus.
They do get the Baron.
They get out with the Baron. They're going to try and get away alive. So they do have the Baron on 4 members, but they are still down 1 man for 40 seconds. That is a huge death timer right now. Soul has been up. That is a massive shield as well. So now it looks like this team of Banana Gaming are just going to sit pretty with the shield and heals as they take the mid inhibitor tower.
Yeah, their siege should be pretty uncontested. I did love how I think I'm okay just threw the ult at to Drezus. Like, no, we're leaving. But big Wombo coming out.
That was a massive destructive Wombo combo, and Banana Gaming in a 28-29 minute fest have completely burned open this base of Banana Bread Boys. After losing the Baron, they got 4 dragons, and they say, we got this. Easy Twin Fang shots as they push to end this game, but I don't know if they can. Ornn is back up, so he might be able to sustain through. No, they have a second wave here. It looks like they're going to try and end it. Try and force a way in. Miasma goes right back down, and that's going to be another kill onto Gangplank, as he is now 10-1-4, and the Nexus will fall for Banana Gaming's win number 1.
Yeah, and, you know, they had that one fight around the Baron where they just kind of pushed a little too hard to try to duo that Baron early on, and ended up trying to bring Banana Bread Boys back in. But, you know, you got to keep them, you got to let them ripen up a little bit. You got to let that banana bread get ripe, get nice and good. But, you know, overall, it was a very fantastic game from Banana Gaming, and they showed that like this Soraka pick can just provide so much in a team, especially when she gets the gold of a solo laner. Those
Mhm.
heals are immense earlier in the game than they would be from a support position.
I have to agree, but it's also, looking at it overall, I, it's hard to say this, right? But I question the potential drafting that came out for the side of Banana Bread Boys. You know, you come out and you already see the Soraka picked up first round. You have the Ornn, and it just felt like they took a lot of those fights a little bit inappropriately as well. There were two fights where I think they could have come out on top, and that might be the window of opportunity that they can, force a way in. One was that Baron play, the second was around that Dragon, and they got a couple good showings in. If they can just get it just right tuning, they might be able to come back in this game number two.
Yeah, and one thing for sure is I don't think I saw Call of the Forge God actually get the second half off of it.
Hmm. No knockouts came out of that one.
Yeah, so good stuff from Banana Game to prevent that, but missing a crucial part of your engage like that is really tough to make your team comp function. So I'm interested to see what adjustments are going to be made for game two. I imagine that Soraka will probably be taken off the table. And you look at the damage charts here and you see just how much more damage Cassiopeia did than everyone. 18,221 damage in a 29-minute game. So very good damage numbers there. Everyone else was around the 7,000-8,000 mark, aside from Big Daddy Will, who did a little over 10,000 himself. So good stuff coming out of Gangplank Bot. And he was kind of the unsung hero. He ended up just picking up a lot of kills and doing a lot of damage, but we were just more focused on Banana Bread Boys trying to engage and the heals and everything coming out. So had quite the unsung game for himself.
Yeah, he was the star player for that one, but we'll have to see if he can pull it off in game number two as well. As we go into a short break, we'll be right back on the Rift for the second game of the Banana Bowl. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number two between Banana Gaming and Banana Bread Boys. The Bread Bowl, or the Banana Bowl, not Bread Bowl. Wow. The Banana Bowl will continue. As we get underway, we will be seeing Banana Bread Boys try and come back in game number 2 after what was a pretty one-sided match in game number 1.
Yeah, outside of that one fight where they tried to duo the Baron and things went a little awry there, it was pretty much Banana Gaming's game to lose there in game 1. And, like we were talking about, we liked what the Banana Bread Boys did with their draft. They just need to fine-tune it a little bit and, make sure that they hit the correct things. Like we said, the Ornn never got to use the second part of his ult. It's just kind of unfortunate that they had so many abilities. I think most of the solar flares were used to stop him from ulting and a couple petrifying gazes. But they did find a couple decent fights where they were able to pick people off. So we'll see if they can make things better for themselves here in game number 2. And we'll see where the priorities lie in this draft. And we'll see if this series ends up being a split or if they take the whole bunch home.
Yeah, not only that, it's going over to the flip side. We talk so much about Banana Bread Boys. Banana Gaming put on a clinic, keeping position on most of those fights, and also calling out and making sure hey, watch out for Cityscape. Always positioning Gangplank on that Cassiopeia on the proper side to not only get the flanks, but to cut off any pincer maneuvers, which I think is a beautiful call to recognize that is their main initiation, their main chance of getting damage down. Cut off that attempt and make sure to stifle the win conditions of the other side.
Yeah, definitely understanding that Kennen needs to come in on the side, curve around like a banana curves around, just to come in to get the slicing maelstrom off. And you just send someone over there just to make sure he's not allowed to do it, and that's pretty much how you play against a Kennen, honestly. You just figure out where he's coming from and stop him. But we are getting into draft and things look pretty similar so far.
Absolutely. First round bans are actually pretty much the same, except for the Cassiopeia ban this time. Cassiopeia taken off the table. That will go in place of, I believe it was the Rise ban last time. So same exact bans for the side of Banana Gaming, but Cassiopeia taken out, and they will actually sacrifice the Graves ban here. So target focusing that mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people would argue that Cassiopeia and Rise are very good champions to ban, especially if the player playing them is proficient. They both just put out insane DPS and offer a lot of utility with Rune Prison and Miasma, Petrifying Gaze, and the Realm Warp. They're just very strong champions, so might as well take it away from someone who knows how to play it. But we got bananas! It's the Banana Bowl. We got more bananas.
Oh man, and they did it, but this time Ornn is actually left on the table as Banana Bread Boys are now feeling more comfortable now that they know the Soraka's there. The issue is they're planning for Soraka to go directly in the top lane. It could be Flex still, although Soraka is a little bit weaker in the bottom side, I feel. If they plan for it, it can easily be swapped.
I think that's what that Kled hover was Kled got that insane 60% grievous wounds built into his kit at the end of last season. And that's kind of maybe what they're thinking was, hey, I can just play Kled into her, but then that's just kind of like, well, it's not really her that you have to worry about getting healed, it's everyone else. So, while in theory the Kled would do pretty well, it's kind of just a different style that you're trying to go for. Because Soraka is so good at just like chilling, farming, healing herself back up that I think it takes something really hyper aggressive to actually push her out of lane. So the Kled could work, but we'll see what else the Banana Bread Boys have in store as Ashe getting locked in as well. Not really a quote-unquote meta pick right now. Has seen some play in Korea, but going back for more lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like this pickup because this actually frees up Gangplank to go even heavier on any of these sides, Make sure that the sun is there, and this might actually force a Morgana pick by Banana Bread Boys because they know it was banned last time. I mean, if they don't pick it up here, this is also a good pickup here. I do like this. Thresh is a nice counter to Leona, also good pick potential. So we'll have to see how that bottom lane plays out, as this time we get pretty even picks, nothing too staggered this time.
Yeah, and something to point out here is that Elise is Central's most played champion the past couple of seasons. So, someone who knows how to play Elise it makes Elise a very dangerous champion. Can get a lot done early on, and if she gets going, she actually does scale relatively okay. She will do a lot of damage. You start getting like a Void Staff or a Leandries or something, and you can start pumping out some serious damage later on in the game. But had a bit of a ban breakout, but that ban is Sejuani. So, pro draft and all its lovely bugs and whatnot.
That is true. And there's going to be a Vladimir ban as well, but Pantheon also on the chopping block here. So targeting that top and jungle side, which I definitely agree with. Pantheon has also been seen a little bit in the jungle, being played a little bit more, but that is actually going to be an Olaf. So I like that takeaway. However, I'm really surprised that they did, unfortunately, because they already have the Elise. But I mean, Olaf is one of the few that can actually shift between jungle and top. And I feel like it might not have been a terrible option if they want to, break free of all the CC that might be coming at them.
Yeah, Ornn going to be taken off as well. And yeah, Olaf, arguably the strongest early game jungler there is. Very strong early on. The lower health you get him, the more he's able to auto attack and put more damage down onto you, and he has the true damage. He's just very strong and a very common ban to see nowadays. So we'll see what the Banana Bread Boys.
All right, we both had our one mess up for the night, I think.
Bringing out Aatrox. So, something that, can potentially go a little more aggressive onto the Soraka and try to become a little more aggressive in fights and try to do a little more, especially considering there's so much CC again. Not only is Ornn banned, but just thinking about all that CC, you may not even want to pick Ornn into a comp like this after seeing how well they were able to CC and prevent the Call of the Forge God from coming out. But Jarvan being picked up by the side of Banana Gaming this time, and there's just so much engaging, and Banana Gaming is just kind of playing the same team comp just with different champions. Well,
I do like
a couple different champions.
Yeah. Big thing is the Ashe change-up. This time they don't have the Misfortune, which honestly combos really well with their composition. And wow.
Okay.
This is locked in. This is a drastic... Okay, so this is a drastically different composition this time around. Taliyah coming out in the mid lane, who I think we've seen a very slight resurgence lately with the changes to the mid lane champion pools.
Yeah, and still doesn't have the gross wave clear that she used to have. Still isn't the premier AP jungler anymore, but still a serviceable pick in both jungle and mid lane. Likely going to be mid lane here into a Neeko, who is actually one of the few champions that hasn't been picked professionally yet in 2020, surprisingly enough. But, both these mid laners provide a lot of utility from the mid lane. Taliyah with her roaming potential and ability to throw people around, create zones that people don't want to dash over, and Neeko just being Neeko. Got the 3-second root, got the big ult on the Pop Blossom, and can build Glacial, can build Electrocute, can build On Hit, just a lot of different things. Probably just gonna end up being Glacial here, but getting on into the actual client champ select. So yeah, this game looks like it has the potential to be a little more explosive.
I would absolutely agree there. And this time, coming from a mid laner, I don't think Taliyah really has a great time against Neeko in that mid lane. Taliyah's damage comes a lot from being able to combo, from being able to really get those picks off and clear the waves. Neeko is one of the few that is also able to wave clear very well. With an EQ combo, it clears out most of the back line, and it's just a very quick setup there. So we're looking at, I feel, a divide and conquer composition coming out from Banana Gaming here with the Taliyah, with the Cataclysm, with the Ashe Arrow, everything in tow. Zone out Misfortune, zone out Neeko, kill them one at a time, and then go from there. Whereas we're also looking from a very skirmish-heavy Banana Bread Boys, as they're probably looking to dominate this early game with the Elise.
Yeah, and Elise, Misfortune, and Thresh is a terrifying combo to try to dodge away things from in a gank on the bot side, potentially. And even for Soraka now, because with Ornn, there really wasn't a whole lot of damage to be done in the top lane. Even if the gank happened. Here with Elise and Aatrox, there is definitely kill pressure on a Soraka in the top lane. The Aatrox can set up waves a little bit and kind of keep it on his side, allow Elise to come in and cocoon. You know, you'll have to get through the barrier on the Soraka, but it is a lot more doable with an Aatrox instead of an Ornn. And then even in fights, you know, the Nico brings a ton of zone control, as well as Thresh and Elise having these skill shots that you have to watch out for. And if you can land that Pot Blossom Bullet Time combo, you're going to wipe fights, even probably through a Wish, as long as they aren't strong enough to kill you before it gets to that point.
Yeah, now looking at it, once again, we had the Lovers duo versus the Misfortune and the Leona. This time around, it's a little bit more versatile, I believe, on both sides. I mean, we saw last time it was Banana Bread Boys getting the upper hand in the first kill on the bottom side. Do you think we'll see the same thing here, or what do you think we'll see from this bottom lane?
It really depends on what Warmonks is able to do, and that's kind of what happened in game one. Is, you know, Leona went in, he went back, and then went back forward, and they landed a great combo to force the summoners out early to allow the gank to happen. Here with Thresh, it's kind of the same thing. You know, you can let Leona come in and just flay her out of the Zenith Blade, try to land a hook on either her or her ADC, and try to focus them down from there. But it really just comes down to Ailes and understanding that he's leaning against the Thresh. So you it's like a cat and mouse game of seeing when the Flay comes out, when the Zenith Blade's available, when the Solar Flare and the box are available, because it feels kind of bad wasting your box when she Zenith Blades in. The slow happens, she's already there, stuns you, then the slow's done, the box doesn't do damage anymore. But overall, it's just kind of the same thing as last game. Whichever lane finds an edge here can really dominate, because Ashe is no slouch when it comes to damage. Even early on, you know, the range on the volley allows her to land poke from extremely far away. Her Q allows you to pump out some serious DPS early on as well, and, you know, all of her autos slow, which really sucks for Misfortune, because most of her movement speed is tied to her passive and her W. And, you know, you just got to be really careful laning against Ashe and Leona. Thresh does have the tools to save someone with the lantern and everything, but overall, it just kind of comes down to execution.
We'll definitely have to see, but as we do get into the Spectator delay, I do want to talk about one of our amazing sponsors as well, Midwest Esports. Midwest Esports has been around for many years, starting as a small student group out of Wichita State University. Since then, Midwest Esports has grown to be a veteran organizer to tournaments and events throughout the US. They host tournaments for games like League of Legends, Rocket League, as well as Overwatch. For more information, check them out at MidwestEsports.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game number 2 between Banana Bread Boys and Banana Gaming. You don't want to miss it. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 between Banana Gaming and Banana Bread Boys. The Banana Bowl continues as we see Banana Bread Boys try and bring it back in game number 2 with a hefty rotation and composition style.
Yeah, but no change in the level 1. Gonna throw down the flag just for that little bit of disrespect damage. But, just 5 pointing on out. Neither of these teams seem too keen to try to do some cheeky invade shenanigans.
And they are being quiet. And again, I don't think either of these teams really has a great invade composition. They both have the Leona and Thresh, great invade. But the follow-up damage I don't think is absolutely astronomical. So I think playing it safe, and again, neither team wants to give an advantage over. Understanding vision and understanding where the enemy team is going to start can give away a lot more information than you might think.
Yeah, very much so. And any sort of information that you can ascertain about what the jungler is doing, very helpful because, either side, they make like a banana and split whenever they know the jungler's nearby, can make it a lot easier as throwing out a bread volley on the other side of the minion wave is Gangplank bot to start out the lane.
Yep.
Like to see the aggression in a lane that could be very boring if they really wanted it to be.
That is League of Legends, I feel, sometimes at a higher caliber level. It's just a farm for a couple hours and then fight.
Yeah, that's what Korea's been doing lately.
Reminds me of the old games that you might play in customs where you, I think it was called Gladiator, as someone came up with it, and you farm for 20 minutes and then you all sit in mid lane and one by one try and fight it out. It was the greatest thing I think I've ever
Nexus
seen.
Splits, man. Nexus Splits was fantastic.
It was. But anyways, we are here in the UML to see who goes and who can even up their score, as I believe it is Banana Bread Boys that are looking to put their first series win up, and Banana Gaming are actually looking to be able to push towards a 2-0 start.
Yeah, definitely. And, with this Aatrox in the top lane, maybe they can turn this Soraka into some banana pudding up in the top side, bring down the sword and smush her on out. But, you just gotta, you gotta trudge through the Star Call and the Silence Field and all the fun stuff that comes with it.
I would agree with that. We do see Central getting a little cheeky invade here, which I do agree with. Again, both these junglers are pretty good about pushing down, trying to get some advantages here and there. They're both early game junglers, but here we go. Another fight in the bottom side, and nice damage coming out. Nice stun as well. They flash and get Arya. Again, no heals means these kills are worth astronomical amounts of points, and that is an early double kill for the team. Meanwhile, on the top side, we do see another gank as well as Drazus is getting caught out, gets slowed by the red buff, and that's just going to be an easy walk down. Doesn't even use the flash. And already, this Banana Gaming squad is up 3-0 with a 1.5k lead.
Yeah, and you couldn't really ask for a more perfect start to the game unless Gangplank bot can somehow destroy Cityscape's entire health bar right now. But, you'll take the 3-0 just like that. The only thing that would have been better is if Drazus had wasted his flash if you're on the side of Banana Gaming. But, overall, your Ashe starts out with 2 kills, accelerating her significantly because, Ashe, really one of those carries who needs the items to really start pumping out the damage. Could potentially, you see him go for Essence Reaver sometimes, or sometimes Blade of the Ruin King first. We'll see what Big Daddy Will ends up deciding on picking up with the recurve bow. Looks like it's going to be Blade of the Ruin King.
Yeah, not going for that CDR build that we see a lot of utility / supportish ADC Ashe builds go. Going very much for the damage output, and who can disagree with that? You just picked up one of what seemingly seemed like the easiest double kill. Meanwhile, on the top side, Noobs has to flash away, but still up. Look at that, almost 10 CS, about 8 CS in that top lane. Feels great this time around.
And I think I'm okay just absorbing some experience, going, the buffs that they did this patch of Jungle XP weren't enough for me, so I'm just going to help you shove this out and get some more experience for myself.
Yeah, top lane is already up, and bottom lane is holding on their own, so why not visit that mid lane? Help get some CS there. We do see a gank here. Central trying to dip and dodge, but that's a nice stun. Nice! Oh! Nice hold on that cleanse, and that was very close to being a kill. Central did a very good job of keeping that neutral. But again, had the cleanse, had the flash.
Yep, definitely. And blowing your summoners early on, like we talked about in the one game, it kind of puts a target on your back. Now, Central knows, hey, no summons on the Talia. We can try for this again. Nico has the lockdown to really set up Central to come on in and land a good cocoon. So something that Gangplank bot, and I think I'm okay need to communicate is, hey, you need to come over here when the wave gets in a certain position so I can safely shove it in and get it back off.
Yeah,
Not quite in the bush.
Kind of scared he pooped out a ward there and dropped the pink ward. Looked like he was trying to hit his refillable pots. But again, we do see that extra bit of power this time, as you were talking about, with the Aatrox in the top lane, can definitely aggress a little bit more without fear of retribution, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Does have to burn through the barrier in order to try to find a kill onto noobs here. And losing the sustain war a little bit, you got to kind of burn through Soraka's mana pool before you can really start going, because the Starfall is, or Starcall, I forget what it's called. It's on a low enough cooldown to where you can just kind of spam it over and over again. Not quite like it was in Season 4 when she was played mid back then.
Oh, man.
Those were dark times.
Those were extremely dark times. I had fun. If I got it, I had fun. But my gosh.
It was
Dragon, while we're laughing about the top lane, has been taken by Banana Gaming. They will collect a nice little 10% cooldown
and
on
I
their
love
ultimates.
getting that before you use your ultimate for the first time, especially for something like Soraka, where your ult is just permanently on a lower cooldown. You never notice that its original long cooldown because you've already got the 10%.
Yeah, I definitely like it as well. And especially when you have ultimates like the Wish and like the Cataclysm, these are all big ultimates that can change the flow of
and the
fight.
Weaver's Wall too.
Yeah, these are massive game-changing cooldowns, so getting an early one is huge. Unfortunately, they will not be able to stack it up to 30%, as one would hope sometimes. Or, 20% if you get all 4 dragons. But they should be sitting pretty once these ultimates start hitting, and I expect a lot of arrows to be flying out of this bottom lane.
Oh yeah, definitely. As soon as that level 6 dings, you're gonna, they may throw it out just to burn cleanse because they know that that's still something that they have to go through. But until that point, I'm just gonna sit down and things like the solar flare are already on a low enough cooldown to where getting extra CDR on them just makes it seem like you can almost use it twice in one fight. And for an ability as impactful as the solar flare can be, it's actually kind of crazy.
We are seeing a shift towards that top side. Since there's no dragon, we see Gangplank rotating to try and get this Rift Herald. And Noob's trying to push out, and we see an invade on the bottom side from Banana Bread Boys. And so that's going to secure Rift Herald. First one of the game. It's going to give a lot of time to, I think, to figure out where he wants to go with this. Because this first crucial Rift Herald could easily extend this gold lead.
Yeah, definitely. None of the towers are really low yet. There is one plate taken in the bottom side. You definitely want to try to use it on the last plates because they have the more armor and magic resistance compared to the first few plates as World Ender popped.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, that damage. Noob's not able to do anything. He doesn't have flash, doesn't have anything, and Drezus just says, all right, I'll pull the ultimate. That saves us later. I'll just take the kill.
All right. Already a very good improvement over what happened in game 1 there.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Props to Drezus for finding that solo kill, burning through the barrier, burning through the wish, burning through the regen on the Q. Able to pick himself up a nice little solo kill.
Yeah, that was
honestly, I love when people can do that, Ward.
Yeah. Not only that, I have to say it was a great play by Drezus, knowing the power spike and knowing the damage output. With an Ornn, you don't really have that threshold, but knowing that once she steps up just far enough, once you land that first shot, you can go in, you have to know those damage power spikes if you want to get an edge. So now he's up 5 CS, already got the kill as well, so he's going to feel very happy about what's to occur.
Weaver's Wall, but there's a lantern.
Yep, bottom lane is getting poked out. Weaver's Wall has been used as well. Now the rest of the team is moving down. They might have actually caught Ailes out. Does dodge the root there, but that's going to be the hook landing as well, and just straight into death. Pops the stopwatch. That's going to be unfortunate right there, as they do pick up a 1 clean kill.
Yeah, fighting back a little bit are the Banana Bread boys. You know, not just sitting there and taking it. And that would have been a very interesting W constantly if it actually pulled Ariat out of the lantern. That would have been an amazing play, actually, to interrupt that. Would have definitely assured the flash being burnt. Not actually killing, but there's the arrow.
Yep, and here we go. Nice arrow, but no follow-up, actually, as the rest of the team says no, but look at the
Flash
bottom
box.
lane. There it goes. They're popping off. Nice little route onto I think. They're going to get that jump in, and there it is. 1 kill to 2 now, as 2 members go down on the side of Banana Gaming, and a little bit of a pop-off here. They are starting to run, but Talia's waiting in the wings. There it is. Nice shove backwards, but the root hits, and so does the Cocoon. Nice cleanse right there to keep him alive. Gangplank is trying to do his best, and look at over the wall. Hill says hello. I'll take that kill. Nice little flash there, and Gangplank now has to run, but the Ignite is almost there. Oh, look at the damage. That is a nice kill by Cityscape, and he picks that one up, but he is going to pay with his life, but that's still 2 kills going over to Leona. Not exactly who you want to give it, and an overall 3 for 3.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there that as soon as the stasis ended on Cityscape, the E from Talia did not end. That would have been a funny little thing. But, you know, getting the kill on Leona is better than not getting it at all, even though you would much rather have gotten those kills onto the Talia. But, you know, popping the Rift Shell mid, going back in for this next Drake, but Pop Blossom almost back up off cooldown just due to the fact that it's such a low cooldown ability. Could change the fight if they decide to contest it.
And Dragon being started up here. Teleport is available for Drazus. And this is a pretty big one. With the Cloud Dragon down, that's a nice 7%. Or 6%, sorry. Armor and Magic is this, so they'll be very happy about picking that one up. And it's an Infernal to get it started. So whoever picks up these next few dragons are going to be very happy about the direction of the game.
Yeah, and they will trade the dragon for plates top, but Central caught out, and I think he's just going to die.
Yeah, he can't do anything. That is a CC
chain,
and a nice arrow lands as well. Welcome to Cloud Drake City. Banana Gaming is on the board. They take 2, as well as the blue buff, I believe. Bales just said, I'll send it, and Big said, I'll send it too.
Yeah, and that's the kind of decisive play you want to see from a team like Banana Gaming here, who was, you know, they lost that last little fight. They ended up picking up some kills back, but it wasn't exactly where you wanted the gold to be. For them to come right back after that, get this Drake, find those picks, and, you know, it shows that, hey, just because we're down a little bit does not mean we're out by any means. And interesting, it looks like Drazus is building Trinity Force instead of Black Cleaver. This is actually something that LS was talking about. I forget if it was on stream or on LCK broadcast or something, but he was saying how if the enemy team doesn't have like multiple tanks that are going to be stacking armor, that Trinity Force is probably better for you than Black Cleaver because you just have 150 less HP, but you'll do so much more damage with the Spellblade procs versus reducing, you know, 24% of someone's 80 armor. So looks like Drazus is a follower of LS.
Possibly, or, you know, again, the stronger build always wins out, and we do see that early Grievous Wounds item, the Executioner's Calling, coming out as well. So did get the early kill, has the CS advantage this time, is able to spare that gold, which I definitely like, and keeping that gold differential down to only, I believe, that's about 500 gold difference. So both teams definitely battling for this gold lead.
Yeah, and we see Gangplank bot. Oh, Big Daddy caught out.
Yeah, big fight, and Central actually gets Cataclysm in, but it repels directly back out and is met by Ailes, and is going to go down to the Ignite. Here comes the Weaver's Wall, knocks off a side of the fight. There they go, nice little flare, misses, and a nice third land as well. That is going to be trades of ultimates and deaths, as Drazus now has to run. One auto attack is all he's going to get, and that's going to die as well. Noobs picks that one up. War Monks is trying to run away in that mid lane. And there we go, Pop Blossom lands, but that's only going to delay the inevitable. Oh,
so much
look at the damage. He almost got it, but Ariet says, okay, I'll come and follow up. And that's a 4 for 2 in favor of Banana Gaming.
Yeah, Gangplank bot did catch out War Monks in the mid lane, it looks like, so he will go down as well. But, you know, these fights turn into chaos once the Weaver's Wall comes out. Once these zoning tools start coming out, they turn into chaos. And I think individually, Banana Gaming's champions are just stronger right now. And you just see how much damage the Dark Harvest does for Gangplank bot. And he even bought GLP. He doesn't have the Ludens. Decided to buy the GLP, get that extra zone control, that extra slow. Looking for the shove. Oh man, just one-shot him.
Oh, that's a dirty play. Dropping the pink ward there. Gangplank knew that Central was going to start rotating towards that top side. Baited it out as well as you could with the pink ward. I mean, 75 gold sacrifice for a 300 gold return. I think he'll take that.
Yep. But
nice
the arrow.
Oh my. Oh my
More
lord.
stuns.
This is just painful to watch as Drazius just came back up and is now going to go right back down. Banana Gaming are on a tear right now.
Yep, they will throw down this Rift Herald as well. We'll see if they want to try to push it on in, but Warmonk's going for the flash play.
Yep, Pop Blossom lands once again, and that's under tower, and the bullet time as well. Big kills, but, I mean, look at Big. He says, I don't care, I'll take you down with me. Gangplank is now here once again, and the fight never stops as another one goes down. And one by one, Banana Gaming are peeling back the layers of this Banana Bread Boys squad. Gangplank is now 4-1-3. It's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. He gets again, and the seismic shove lands. That is the ultimate. And the Weaver's Wall. No, he gets caught out of it, but the Weaver's Wall is still there. He does get rooted and pulled back. This might be the return kill as Gangplank sacrifices his life. Dodges right back, and that's gonna be it as Central picks up the kill.
Yeah, I do like that from Gangplank to walk away from I Think I'm Okay, just to ensure that they can't chase him down as well, because this dragon is coming up soon, and I Think I'm Okay should be able to get over there to try to secure that. So, you know, just those little things where you realize you're dead and you try to waste as much time, try to put the rest of your team in as good a position as you can. And we got our first Infernal Drake, but a great Cocoon.
Yeah, and they do hit that one, and the Infernal Drake might go down. To the side of Banana Bread Boys. I mean, this would be the first one, and I mean, what a way to start your comeback if you're able to make it. Already you see J4, he's looking for the seal, he might get it. He does get it! He stole it! That is third dragon, and they might pick up a few kills as well. Look at the health bars, though. They are going to drop down. That is going to be a shutdown for Warmonks. Not exactly who you want it to be, but Ailes once again catches out Central. I see it was on the back line. Does go down to, I think, that's a 1-for-1 trade, but a big shutdown gold going over to the side of Banana Bread Boys.
Yeah, and it was a really good shutdown. However, you know, they're still down about 3,000 plus right now, so they got to try and find more picks as Warmonk throws out some of these hooks. And, you know, they have the tools to do it. It's just a matter of actually getting in the correct position to capitalize on it.
And I mean, with all the explosive fighting that's happened within the last about 3.5 minutes, I mean, do you think we'll continue to see these kind of scrappy, nonsensical fighting, or do you think they're going to try and settle down and, you know, try and make it work a little bit better?
I mean, they've been thriving in the chaos so far, so there's really no reason for them to try and stop it. So I think they're just going to continue to just do what they've been doing, because Slee is strong enough at a point where she just kind of blows up whoever she hits with the seismic shove. And, you know, Big Daddy Will's landed every arrow I've seen. So, you know, these guys have this accuracy with these big-time skills here. And I think I'm okay. You know, he's going budget Jarvan. He's got Knight's Vow. He's just there to help. He's there to give attack speed and to hold people down. Everyone else is doing all the damage.
Yeah, it's working. We do have 7 stacks on the Dark Harvest right now. For Gangplank, so not exactly a huge amount, but this is a trade of the Hextech GLPs. But look at the damage coming out. Pop Blossom does land. That's going to be a stun and another root, but look at the cleanse. Look at the moves. Gangplank, what was that?
Yeah, and even got stunned up by the Pop Blossom for a little bit, which did do a good chunk of damage. You know, they're roughly equivalent on items, just an 8-stack Dark Seal and whatever the difference between the Amp Tome and the Aether Wisp is. So that was a relatively even fight, all things considered. But the Dark Harvest took a big old chunk of damage out of Cityscape before he could respond to anything, before the shield on his Pop Blossom even happened. He's trying to go in on noobs here with OK right here.
Yeah, and I mean, Drazius just caught out, has to pop the World Ender as well just to survive. But, I mean, look at that Star Call damage. Noobs is throwing them out like it's candy at a parade right now, and just being able to zone him off means that the bottom tower is going to fall as well. Right now, 20 minutes into the game, Banana Gaming have secured themselves a, I think that's a 4.5k lead, and 3 towers to 0, so well on their way to controlling this game just like in game number 1.
Yeah, and about the 4,000 gold lead is about the point where it actually starts to make a visible difference. That's about 1,000 gold for everyone except the supports if you want to divide it out like that. So that's an extra giant's belt, that's an extra pickaxe. There's some actual like stat value to a gold lead of this size here. So look for Banana Gaming to start pushing their lead a little bit. We've got Baron alive now, so cue the Baron dance. We've got the 4th Drake coming up in a minute and a half, and an Infernal Soul for a team that is relying on 2 people to do damage would be very huge.
We'll have to see if they can make it work. A minute 25 on that, but around this time as we actually saw Banana Gaming in game number 1 try for that Baron attempt, and that's actually what caught him out in game number 1. I wonder if they're going to attempt it here again. They definitely don't have the damage, I feel, as this time around they don't have the Cassiopeia, they don't have the Xayah, so it might be a little bit more risky, but they do have the zoning potential, and that might be able to gain them some support.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see if they try to go for something like that, but the Banana Bread Boys, they do have the big wombo kind of their own with the bullet time, with the Pop Blossom. If Aatrox is there as well to interrupt people, does have the Trinity Force completed for himself, so has a decent enough spike going. It's just a matter of whether he can actually stay in a fight long enough, as we got about 30 seconds left on this next Drake, which is Soul Point for Banana Gaming. And they're looking, lying in wait, trying to find a pick.
Looks like Ales kind of sniffs it out. They know the map is completely dark. They already warded the top side, so they know that everyone has to be on this bottom side, I feel.
Good gameplay.
No one's
He's
showing
in
in
that
the
same
way.
bush.
Nice cocoon. But look at this. They are positioned properly. They're going to force out. Arrow actually misses. But Weaver's Wall goes out, and they zone everyone off. They caught Warmonks. There goes the Hex at GLP, and the Solo Flare lands as well. Big knockback and big damage to follow as Bullet Time does land, and Noobs barely stays alive with that wish, and they are killing Central, cutting him down and stomping on top of him. Pop Blossom does land, but that's only on the support. Cityscape is going to go down with one more throw of the stone, and that is a 4-for-1 in favor of Banana Gaming.
Yeah, and it looks a lot like last game all of a sudden, where the healing that's coming out, the fight getting split up is just too much for Banana Bread Boys to handle, and Banana Gaming coming out on top.
And I mean, they got 4. They don't even care. They're going for both objectives right now. Baron has been started up as well. This is a split chance. People are starting to come up. They might be able to burn it fast enough. It's down to about 8k, so burning at about, I want to say about 500 per 2 seconds. If someone can get there, they might attempt a steal, but it definitely won't be Elise. Nice stun, nice stones on the ground, so whoever wants to try it, maybe Drazeus that goes over the wall. World Ender has been popped, and there he goes. He tries to steal it away, doesn't get it as Smite comes down again, and that's going to be an easy kill pickup for the side of Banana Gaming. They have collected all global objectives, and now just say thank you. Arrow goes out. Wow, what was that? Aria says, I'll try my hand at this, and just doesn't work. Warmonk pays for her mistake, and that's just a gifted 2 kills.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage coming out of the Talia and Ash right there. The Infernal Soul, the Dark Harvest, and wow, just so much damage coming out of Banana Gaming that they only need 2 people to do damage, apparently.
They really do, and with the completed Morellonomicon after that fight, now Gangplank now has the Leandris as well, so burning through the health bars, honestly looking at it, no one on the enemy team really has a whole lot of health stack. Drazeus actually went for the Trinity Force instead of the Black Cleaver, so the health pool is a little bit lower. But whoever Gangplank tags will be getting dropped fairly shortly.
Yeah, definitely. And, even without the health, the Leandri still gives you the Madness passive, which lets you do more damage the longer you're in combat with someone. And Talia can stay in combat for a very long time, so that damage stacking will help out in an extended fight. And then the Dark Harvest and everything else will help out in short fights. So Gangplank's pretty much set up for the rest of this game with his items right now. Just, probably with like Rabadons or something, but sitting pretty where he's at right now.
Yeah, and also 10 stacks on the Dark Ring. And there we go. Arrow goes all the way in, lands on the support. Pop Blossom lands, but a nice seismic shove pops their health bars as well. And this is just a lambs to the slaughter as the bananas are being peeled. Banana Gaming feeling very happy about what's going on right at the inhibitor tower. Gangplank is going godlike as a double kill with the flash secures a 12-2-5 scoreline and an inhibitor to boot.
Yeah, and you just see there's not much hope left for Banana Bread Boys at this point. Pushing on in, they may try to end the game with this wave, with the Baron, with the Infernal Soul. Wish is just about up, if not up already. So, you know, they're going to do things a little bit more textbook, though. Going to go down to this bottom lane and push on in with that as well. Wish is available now, so if they can bait another fight, they might just try to end.
Yeah, Leona being caught here, but it's not going to do too much. Ignite goes out as well. Looks like they're going to be able to back up just a little bit. And I mean, it looks like the loaf has started to get cut here as the base is starting to crumble for Banana Bread Boys. They lost their second inner turret. The only one standing is top lane, and that's a big wave crashing in. Inhibitor tower is on, and I think this is the last stand for Banana Bread Boys.
Yeah, we'll see if they can find a good initiation here to try to pop Noobs, who's still around half health. Does have Wish, though, so essentially he's about 3/4 health, but they're going on in.
Yeah, they say they know the flashes are down, and they just go, all right, Ariette, you're on the chopping block. Good hit by Gangplank, 13 on his kill score right now, and they're just chasing Drezus down as well. Immediate kills coming around, and I mean, I think they can just end the game here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Unless Cityscape can land an amazing Pop Blossom in Central, kills them all. But the Weaver's Wall will separate them a little bit, try to flame onto the fountain. Will succeed.
Oh. Hey, 1,000 gold shutdown at the very end of this game here. Nice little route as well. Cityscape trying to do his best. But I mean, that is all Nexus Towers down. Health bars are bleeding, but look at the healing from Noobs. Redemption comes down as well. They pick up the kill. Now they're just padding the stats as they feel happy to troll this out. As that is going to be, as the last bullet time comes out as well, that is going to be a 2-0 for Banana Gaming.
Yeah, they're your winners and the champions of the first ever Banana Bowl. Well, there might have been there's so many college football bowls. One of them might have been named the Banana Bowl. I don't know. But the winner of the first Upsurge Banana Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, a very clean played game coming out of Banana Gaming. This time around, still looking at the damage scores. I mean, twice now, Gangplank has put up incredible numbers. First time was 18.2k. This time sitting at 26.7k even. So
yeah.
Pulling his weight, throwing around those stones, and I mean, making sure Banana Bread Boys just couldn't get a hold in this game.
Yeah, and if you average out the game time to damage, he did about 1,000 damage per minute, which is even more than he did in game one.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Gangplank just had himself a fantastic series, and, you know, playing those AoE mages just really seems to suit him very well. So it looks like Banana Gaming understands how they succeed playing League of Legends, and, you know, that's about all you can ask for as an amateur team, is just to find a play style that works for you and then figure out how to execute on it.
I will, before we head out, we do have to pick, because it is a Banana Bowl. I think we already know who it is, but let's go ahead. Who is your MVP for this series, for the first ever Banana Bowl? Conclusion?
Well, if you want a literal top banana, then it was, you know, it was the Soraka top pick both games.
Oh, okay,
but,
okay.
Come on, it's got to be Gangplank bot. You know, did the most damage both games, got a ton of kills both games. Big shout outs to Will, because he played very well in both of these games as well. But Gangplank bot just did, on a pick that we were just kind of going, Talia mid has seen better days, you know, still can work, but not exactly something you'd kind of want to pick out like this. But, you know, Gangplank bot just had a fantastic series.
Have to agree with you there. Gangplank bought the first inaugural MVP of the Banana Bowl, and we'll have to see if in the next weeks Banana Bread Boys are able to rally back from their 0-2 start in their UML season. We will have to wait and see as the games have been concluded for this week of the Upsurge League. So from all of us here at the analyst desk from Upsurge, thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great night.